Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we've got the universe card. Wow. This is infinite. This is everything. This is kind of a, this is almost a card that's sort of asking, what do you want in life? You know, where do you want to be? This is a card of boundaries being lifted from your life. This is a card of freedom. This is a card that's indicating there might be some major travel in your near future, okay? Big time travel, not just going to the grocery store and back, but like international travel kind of thing, okay? It's sort of asking the question, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to put down roots? What corner of the universe is meant for you, right? We could be talking about a situation here involving some property. I feel like there's a lot of land here somewhere, right? Maybe from a relative, maybe something that you're trying to buy, or I don't know yet. But I see like a big sort of open area. The thing about the universe card is that sometimes this is the idea of there being too many possibilities. If there are an infinite number of possibilities out there, does it really matter which one we choose, right? How do we choose in the face of the infinite, right? So it's kind of like we are awestruck by the immensity of the universe. It's sort of, to me, it sort of feels like an agoraphobia, you know, where there's just this wide open space and we are scared to death of it because it's saying that if everything is possible, you know, how do I possibly navigate that? How can any of us really accomplish anything if everything is infinite, you know? I wonder if sometimes we are confronted with too many possibilities or too many, say, alternatives, that we start to sort of doubt ourselves a little bit and we start to think that well, maybe our dreams are too big, maybe our goals are too lofty. Maybe there are too many variables between here and the goal, you know, the long-term goal, that big, that huge sort of unbelievably great goal that you have. It could sometimes seem that there are just too many possible routes. So there's no way to be certain about any one of them, right? And then we sort of start invoking the mind, the reason, the intellect a little bit, and we start getting a little nervous about this. It's kind of like, you know, when you're really fired up about something, but then you get there and you realize that there's a lot of people in the audience. We start to get a little bit of stage fright, you know. Sometimes this card is about the boundaries being lifted in your life, your universe expanding. It makes us a little nervous because it feels as if the distance between things is getting greater. The distance between you and other people, the distance between star and star, right, is growing. And so we feel that we're sort of losing connection. We're losing touch with everybody. The larger our world gets, the more isolated we feel. Okay? We got to put this card into some context. See, that's what this card really does need, is something to give it a little bit of a little bit of direction, I guess, to narrow down the meaning a little bit. Here we have, interestingly enough, we have a Prince of Swords, which is the fixed air energy of the Aquarius sign. So this is your spiritual Aquarius energy in action. Okay, that's very interesting to have right there. Let's see what else we have. A Prince of Wands. We have the Fool. We have a 10. Yeah, we've got the 10 of Swords. That makes sense. We have the Hierophant. Okay. We have a Queen of Wands there. Good fire energies. We have a 6 of Swords. Very good. The air energy, really, there's such an improvement here, right? It's getting better and better. And a 4. Okay. 4 of Swords, we'll take that. And an 8 of Pentacles. Something really is bearing fruit here. I think that this is... I kind of feel that we're sort of lost in space here with this universe card, and we're trying to find a direction. And see, we have also the Fool and the universe. We have the beginning and the end, right? We have the vast internal emptiness and the vast external emptiness, right? And I think that what we're doing is we're really putting some details. We're really filling it in with something, right? I think you're going to get some very good news about this piece of property or about this land or whatever this possession is. I feel like this is some sort of property. It feels like land, like real estate to me, but I don't know if that's exactly what it is. But I feel as if what you may be already despairing over, that it didn't work, the plans are ruined, something fell through, right? 10 of Swords. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Don't give up yet. It's not over yet, okay? You may already be giving your concession speech, right? It's not over, okay? There's still some chance here. I think it's coming through a sort of an unexpected intermediary, this Hierophant, right? Let's go ahead and select the mystery card. I've got to fix my camera here. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're just going to set it down right here and put aliens, Simon Mork Ripley, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. Don't forget, Aquarius, you are magic. That card is going to tie everything together and give us the confirmation and conclusion at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. All right, let's do it together. Let's work our intuition. Yeah. And also stay tuned until the end of the video. There's just a couple of channel announcements. All right. Let's look around the room. As far as the major arcana go, 1, 2, 3, just like that, right in a line. The Fool, the vast emptiness internally, the vast emptiness externally, and we're getting some sort of guidance here. We're getting the Hierophant, which I think is really, we would want the Hierophant to be the intermediary. We want the Hierophant to be the one that sort of initiates the Fool into the universe, that brings the Fool, that leads the Fool. It's your higher self bringing your purified energy to its destination. Okay, this is the ideal flow, but we don't have that, right? I think that it's an unexpected assistance coming in. I think you're going to be kind of shocked by what this is going to be for you. Okay, I think it is some good news coming in. I think that you've already resigned something to being over and done with, but you're going to be very surprised when this Hierophant energy comes in. It is going to be some sort of energy that it's probably coming through a person, you know, or maybe a message, maybe some kind of a communication. Well, it is going to be a communication, but whether it's through the medium of, you know, a person showing up in your life or a sort of a revelation in a different way, it's going to allow the Fool and the universe to realize their potential, right? Because see, here we have emptiness and emptiness. They're both infinite. They're both just this pure sort of potential energy, right? There's nothing in here yet. Everything is still just possibility. But it's through the Hierophant that we're able to understand how to really make something of this. If this is the infinite possibilities of life, the Hierophant is showing you which possibilities for you to take advantage of to bear fruit, right? To get to the outcome that you want, okay? And of course, you've got your Aquarius superhero energy right here that is going to be receiving that sort of information. So I like the major arcana that we have. Of course, we have our fire. We don't have any water. We've got a lot of air, though. And we've got a little bit of earth. We don't have any water now. And I think really you're in that stage, right in between the despair and really the sort of the giving up, the waterworks. You know, we're on the verge of tears here, right? And I think it's because of this 10 of Swords up at the top. Because this feels as if you're looking at this and thinking, it's gone, it's dead. There's nothing here. We're just about ready to like literally throw it all away. And then I think the water energy is going to come, you know. And then the tears are going to flow. But I think the water energy is not here too, because you're looking at something as being devoid of any sort of, pleasure or positive energy. We're looking at this is dry as a bone here, right? There's no meat on this. There's no sustenance here. There's nothing to nourish yourself on. This is just, it's just bones, right? So it's kind of like maybe you were involved in some sort of a business deal or some sort of an effort. I don't know what it was. And we're looking at it and thinking, oh, this is just, it's a failure. It's a ruined, there's nothing worthwhile here. Okay. But then what we see here at the end with the Eight of Pentacles on the path of the Serpent is that, no, it's not gone yet. Don't uproot this plant yet. The Hierophant's going to come and show you the way that this plant is going to bear fruit. So this is kind of like, we've planted a tree, it grew, but it's just, I don't know, something was wrong with it. It never actually grew up. It never actually started to bear fruit. That it was an effort that we kind of see like maybe we feel it was a waste of time. Nothing good came from it. It was just a lot of effort with no payoff, no return. It didn't work, right? So we're about to scrap it. We're this close to just dismantling the whole thing, but the Hierophant comes in and says, wait, don't do it yet. Okay? Let me show you the way to fix it. Let me show you what this thing needs in order to get it blossoming. Yeah. So I really do like the major arcana energy that we have. The Fool on that Fool's journey to the universe, to the conclusion, right, to the destination of life, needs the guidance of the Hierophant. Okay? This is something you don't have here, and so we're looking at this, but this energy is coming in. Okay. Now, of course, the Prince of Swords is your superhero energy. It sort of represents the Aquarius energy. I think that this is your ability to appreciate the subtle. I think you're somebody that can sort of hear the faint whisper in the wind and think, wait a minute, something's coming. I think you can sort of, like, you got your ear to the ground and you say, I can sense some footsteps, that there is something that's happening. And I think that you've been, with the Universe card, you've been very patient waiting for this energy. And I think that your patience is not infinite. Your patience does wear thin. That this is something that you've sat by the phone for a long time waiting, or you've been taking care of this plant for a long time, but it just keeps dying. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. You haven't given up on it yet, but I think you're very close. Just hold out a little bit longer. Just a couple more minutes, right? I feel like you're somebody who really is a student of astrology. And for some reason, I feel like you recycle things, or you upcycle, or you you do some sort of renovation. Yeah. Maybe this is all part of this sort of property thing, or maybe it's sort of a contractor kind of energy, or it's a refurbishment or a renovation of something. Yeah, I'm getting that kind of energy coming in. The Prince of Wands underneath the surface is a persevering kind of energy, and you're somebody that, no, you don't give up easily. Especially if you believe in something, you're not going to just sort of quit at the first sign of trouble. And you are learning the lesson of patience. But it's because, it's because you've made a commitment, because you care about this, because you really do want it to work. This is you showing up every day, striving for something, even though it's not really giving you anything back at the moment. Okay? That you still show up, and it's, I don't know, maybe even those from the outside kind of, it appears as if you're sort of going down with the ship, because it's like you're still showing up every day, even though it's sort of it's a failing business or whatever, and it's just, others are thinking, well, why are you even still bothering, And I think maybe it's because you know something intuitively. You're just saying, I'm not going to give up yet. And you're smart for that, right? Because that Hierophant energy is coming in. The assistance from the universe that you need. The emissary, right, from the universe. The ambassador from Spirit is on its way. Yeah. In the background, of course, Fool energy. And the Fool is the beginning of this thing for you. The Fool represents sort of the beginning of this maybe sort of risky endeavor. And I feel like this was something that it kind of took a leap of faith for you, that you just you had to just dive into something. This was a big risk. I don't think you're one to typically roll the dice, okay? But you are someone that sort of trusts your instinct, or maybe you sort of trust the stars, maybe the astrology kind of thing, or the divination, or the spiritual communication. Like you sort of trust in the subtle, irrational energy, but you're not one to roll the dice and just kind of gamble in that way. So I think that you began this in the spirit of hopefulness, in the spirit of optimism, right? I feel like it's wearing thin. I feel like that universe card is it is like things are just expanding and stretching thin. And maybe it is a financial thing even, that, the Fool kind of went all in on something, and the universe, the timeline kind of thing, space and time keeps expanding. And it's like, I can only make this dollar last so long, right? We can only stretch the rubber band so long. I can only stretch the funds, the resources so much before snap, the rubber band, right? Thankfully, you're not cutting your losses and running the other way. The Hierophant is there. The Hierophant is maybe a financial sort of assistance, a cash injection, if you will, from somewhere else. Okay, I feel like it is some energy coming in that is going to sustain your efforts, renew your hopefulness, renew your ambition, renew your optimism, and lead you to fruition. Okay, and in some ways, this could be the cash you need to keep things going. All right. Because I feel like your dollar is being stretched very, very thin here. Okay. And it could be that you're starting to run out of resources. We think of, a rocket ship in outer space. Eventually you're going to run out of fuel, and you're just going to rely on the momentum, right? But eventually, you're not able to steer, you're not able to slow down or speed up. It's just, that's it. There's nothing else, there's nothing more I can do but just wait, right? Then I think you're sort of being, you're being met with an unexpected benefactor. Okay? An unexpected benefactor. That's going to take us over to the path of the serpent. As we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And it supports the channel. I appreciate that. I have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories, where I read stories on the channel. And some spooky stories or some fun stories, some weird stories, and it's kind of a fun time. So go subscribe to that channel too if you like that sort of thing. Also, I wanted to start something new on this channel. If you have any questions for me or comments or anything that, I'm just kind of going to go old school here. If you want to mail them into the channel. And what I'll do is every once in a while, I'll just read a couple, on air, so to speak, and answer the question or whatever. It'd be a fun little thing we could do. If you're interested, the mailing address is down in the video description. All right. Anyway, general energy is the Queen of Wands here. And it's interesting that we sort of have the sustained effort here, and then we've got sort of a landing energy here, because this is a fixed fire energy. This is a mutable fire energy. The only thing we don't have is the cardinal fire. That's kind of the Fool energy, right? Is that cardinal energy, that beginning of things. Beginning, middle, and end. Okay, so we're in this middle phase, and it almost seems that there's no choice now. There's no options. There's no alternatives. There's nothing that you can do to sort of steer the ship. If the fuel is running out, there's not much left. There is no more choices. Right? But then we get that cosmic benefactor, that unexpected assistance, and that brings us to the Queen of Wands, and that the knowledge that I can bring this thing home. That this can have a very soft landing exactly where we want it to be. And this is the renewed confidence. But this is still a suspended celebration. We're not yet ready to rejoice, but we feel a renewed sense of optimism and confidence and commitment. Okay? Now, in your environment, you've got the Six of Swords. It is kind of the recognition that this was all part of the plan, right? This is the idea that things are getting back on track. Over here, it seems derailed. It just was a disaster, and there's no options left. There's nothing else that you can do to try to save this thing, right? But now with the Six, it's kind of like, oh wow, okay, things are back. Things are happening again. It's kind of like, okay, we're not out of the game yet. We're not out of the fight. Things are back to where they should be, right? This is very good energy. This is sort of getting back to that divine blueprint, getting back to the original plan. It's a harmony, and it's a beauty of thought, and it's an organization. It is it's an optimism and a confidence, but it's not without worry. We're bringing the swords with us. We're floating in space. We're floating on this river or whatever, but we're bringing our concerns with us. We feel like we're not out of the woods yet. Okay, but this is kind of the maybe this is the realization that, like, I've got one sudden light bulb idea, and I'm going to do the math, and it's going to work. All right. But again, you're not one to roll the dice. But in a certain way, even because like I said, you trust in spirit, you trust in the divine energy, you trust in your intuition, but you're not really a gambler. I kind of feel that this card is talking about chance, talking about probability, and the fact that the conditions can be exactly perfect, but there's still that little bit of chaos in the universe that says, we don't know how it's going to turn out. And even if the conditions are all exactly the same, it doesn't mean that the outcome is going to be the same this time, So it's like there's still that infinite factor. There's still that chaos in the universe. So really everything we do, every choice we make is a roll of the dice. It's that idea of chance or luck or coincidence or divine intervention or whatever you want to call it. No matter how perfectly we think we have the plan or the conditions set up, it's not logically going to follow that A plus B equals C. You know, it might the first time, it might A plus B equals C 99 times, but there'll be that one time where somehow it doesn't. Everything is the same. All the conditions are the same. But somehow it doesn't follow, you know? And I think this is that realization that nothing can be that sort of, the conditions cannot be that controlled. There is always a factor infinite and unknown, all right? And I think this is very important to keep in mind always. The Four of Swords in the position of sort of what you don't want. When we're over here, this is the card we don't want. And this is the card of rest. This is the card of truce. This is the card of not fighting anymore. This is the card, if we were to have it over here, would say that we're going to stop looking for answers. That we're just going to give up, throw in the towel. We're going to acquiesce. We're going to concede. We're going to throw in the towel and whatever, right? That we're done looking for answers because we kind of feel that, well, it's a Ten of Swords. There are no answers here. You know, I've done the math. It all equals I'm screwed, right? But as we know from this card, the conditions could be exactly this, and mathematically, yes, A plus B equals I'm screwed. But there's that 1 in a million chance that maybe A plus B equals I'm not screwed. And maybe there is something that, there is something infinite and unknown that sort of, that changes things here for you. Okay? So I think we really don't want this card when we're here. We don't want to give up. We don't want to stop looking for answers. It's kind of like you're going to crunch the numbers. Well, let's crunch them again. You know, it reminds me of that episode of The Office. You know, can we crunch them again? It's like, well, we're going to get the same answer. You know, like, well, maybe not this time. Crunch them again. It just hits the crunch button. And so that's kind of the idea that even if it seems futile, even if it seems ridiculous and silly to keep trying, we're going to do it again. We're gonna run it again until we figure it out. Because there is always that sort of unknown factor, that mystery of life. Yeah. When we get to the path of the serpent, of course, this is the card we need. This is the card that we have to sort of invoke. We have to resign ourselves at some point to say, okay, the plan is in motion. Things are going the way they're going. Now I don't need to decide. I don't need to search for answers. I don't need to crunch the numbers anymore. Now I can rest my intellect and I don't have to try to figure out the problem. There's no need to crunch it again. It's sort of like we crunch them enough times until we get the outcome we like and then we stop. You don't keep doing it because then you're gonna lose it, you know? And I'm trying to think of an analogy, but there's something that I sometimes do, and I don't know if it's maybe, I don't know what it may be something for the channel where I'm hitting a button to advance the camera or the timeline, the marker, the sort of head on the timeline there. And I'm clicking until I get the one I want. But then I'm so used to clicking that I click too many times, like, oh, I wanted the last one. You know, but then I got to just keep clicking again until I get that perfect one. So we have to be able to stop ourselves, because the mind gets into that habit, mind and the body, right? Get into that habit of you know, working the problem, crunching the numbers, crunch. Oh, shoot, I wanted that last one. That was the outcome that I wanted, you know? So we realize that we sometimes have to say whoa to the mind and stop meddling in things. Leave well enough alone, okay? And I think it all centers around this cosmic benefactor, whatever this is. This could be the light bulb moment. This could be the unexpected resource, the person, the place, or the thing, the money, whatever that shows up in your path. And there's no sense in saying, no, I'm going to try again. No, let's see if I can do one better. Looking a gift horse in the mouth, that sort of thing. It's kind of like we're going to refuse the $1,000 because it's not $1,001. I think I could do one better. Let's follow the flow of things here, and I think this is going to be it. And that sort of brings us to the Eight of Pentacles too. That idea of caution, of not trying to exceed our capacities in the moment. Let's go with the natural flow of things. Whatever this cosmic benefactor is, this is what you need at the moment, and let's utilize that. Let's not try to keep pushing the buttons and crunching the numbers. Let's not have that sort of, well, it's maybe with the fire energy here, that sort of that overconfidence that thinks, oh, I can do a little bit better than that. It's like, let me run the race again. I can beat my last time. I can get a hundredth of a second faster. Just take what you're getting, because I think it's going to be great. And I think that it's not a final destination. This is realizing that something is starting to grow now. Now, we don't want to force it. We don't want to rush it at this point. At this point, we want to be gentle with it. We want to take it kind of slow. We want to give it ample time to put down roots and to settle and to fortify and to really establish itself. This is a business. This is some sort of property or some sort of renovation that you're doing. Take it slow. Allow it to grow in a very natural an organic way. Don't try to rush it. All right, let's look at the mystery card. Maybe this is that factor, infinite and unknown. That's going to, it's going to be pentacles, maybe. Is it going to be some major arcana? Is it going to be money? Is it going to be divine intervention? Is it going to be the idea? Is it going to be an ace of something? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. It's a 9 of Pentacles. So it is, I think it is money. Okay, I think it is a financial thing. But it's also a natural progression from the 8 to the 9. By taking things slowly, doing things the right way, letting things develop organically, being a little bit prudent, cautious, taking care of something, in the right way, allowing it to grow, I think you're setting yourself up for the very best life. You're creating something that's going to be lasting, something that will have firm roots and a strong foundation, something that will last. Okay? This is a wealth that sort of keeps going. This is a card of gain. This is a card of progress that's not stopping. Yeah. I think this is an excellent confirmation. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Aquarius, Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Also subscribe to the Dove and Serpent bedtime stories. Send your letters into the channel using the address in the video description. What else? If you don't want to watch the extended readings here, go to the website, doveandserpenttarot.com. You can sign up for the extended readings and watch them over there. Same thing as here on YouTube, just over there. Okay. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.